From the things that I've shared to the tragedies that I haven't, I'm pretty sure that you know at this point, I was in shambles in all aspects, a complete loss in vitality and increase in apathy, in a nutshell. And foolish of me to think that I've endured enough, right? Nah. When I got back to go get my stuff after calming down, I was mad all over again because whose shoes are those? I was still bleeding out baby bits and he decided it was smart to call a girl over who was gone when I got there. Is the crazy part. It's like they knew or something. So I went for blows. He was a big dude, so after catching my hands, he pinned me to the wall until I stopped. I got my stuff and went back to my mother. Some time had passed. He called to confess about getting another girl pregnant, which is wilder. During his trips to go see his brother, which I knew everything about except for that part, claiming she moved out of town and terminated hers too. A break was clearly a fantasy furthest from reality. He called me some weeks later to apologize, but by this time, I could care less about anything and accepted to move forward for myself. He said he called back the next day, but the next day never came because I later got a message via Facebook from old girl that we met through, and she told me he had passed away. God bless his soul, because I forgive him now. I thought she was lying, so I called his phone and his cousin answered and confirmed. The girl he fell in love with was still pregnant, came to town to visit, and he had an asthma attack, I believe, while she was still there. There was a girl he had on the blade that I knew of, and we met at my mom's before going to link another former friend, and we all went to the funeral together. I saw his BM sitting there whole pregnant. I'm not gonna lie, even after the bullshit, I was hurt behind his passing, and seeing her made it 10 times worse, especially after going through my termination that he encouraged. I also found out later that the girl I linked was the owner of those shoes, and she stole money out my mother's bathroom before we left unbeknownst to me. I never saw her again. I was hitting her up for the fade and my mother's money back, but she made sure to egg me and go about her thieving ass life. That shit was crazy. His best friend that helped me with the appointments, sad to say, sometime later he ended up passing away too due to a heart attack. I won't ever be able to make sense of any of this. This was all wild. After all that I went through, consider me depressed. And I spent a lot of my time trying to figure out how and why moving on with life incessantly was even considerable. So I did my best to heal, but my coping mechanisms at this point was so toxic, it deterred me from doing exactly that. So of course, life went on. And as time went on, me and old twin flame, we ended up keeping in touch and reconnected. And sometime later, my dumbass got pregnant again for the third and last time. He got locked up again. I tried to hold it down again, but it got disrespectful again. And he denied it being his, which I get now because we went through a lot for real. And that situation didn't help ease his mental and all that he was going through either. But it was no excuse for the disrespect because I was always 100 with him. But I was going to keep it because 3 times, this was a sign to me. My mom found out though, told me no kids in her house and sent me straight to Planned Parenthood quick. I remember waking up in recovery devastated, looking for a baby that wasn't even there. I'm thinking, I guess because of the anesthesia, that I had just went through a labor or something, and the nurse just looked at me so hurt. And I remember her coming over and trying to console me and give me graham crackers and juice or something. I wasn't even going. That wasn't going to work. Because at this point, I just felt hopeless. I felt helpless and empty. I just felt like this empty shell, like just hollow. If you tapped on me, you would just hear an echo, you know? And I want to thank, and God bless her soul, my cousin Nana, because when I got back home, she had took me out and we actually had some quality time that day. And we really got to enjoy each other's like energy and minds, you know, something that I encourage people to do with those that they love. You know, and I think my cousin Crooked as well, because he was there and all he would do was just like crack jokes. He always cracks jokes, you know, that's how he hides his pain. And I noticed that later on too. But for a while it wasn't working until it did. So I thank him because this was a very devastating moment for me. And I don't wish this on anyone. And I also don't encourage anyone to go through these procedures or processes either. Whatever you choose to do with your body is yours, you know, do what you do. But I will say that it comes with consequences, you know, it comes with some very deep scars. So, you know, love yourself and protect yourselves. Again, I will always push that because I know what pain is, you know. For whatever reason after that, I realized that I was not able to conceive again either. And this is why I say the third and the last time. I didn't go in there for any kind of tube tying or anything. So I couldn't really understand it, but I guess that was God saying 3 times I gave it to you and 3 times you sent them back, you know? So again, I tell y'all all, love yourself, because I wasn't trying intentionally, but the proof was definitely in the intercourse that I wasn't able to conceive again. So after years of realizing that, I just considered myself to be a childless mother. Another reason why I'm so overprotective of people that I love, and another reason why I find it best to isolate too. I just remove myself in totality. And now at this point in life, I'm sure you would know why I just chose to isolate and heal during my darkest moments.